All right. All right. Everything seems to be going well. Going to be adding some locations and lore to the world map today. Got a few here going. Got our token here for one of my players who sort of just acts as the overland travel meter. I've got a distance set up so you can faintly see the grid. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Let's go grid opacity about 20%. So now, say, hey, I want to go to this landmark, right? It'll take you 2 days. Let's see, what should we start with? Alrighty. I think I'm gonna... use the bathroom, and then come back and we'll get started. Let's, here. Here's the place. This is a village of Cosguard. Alright, be right back. Alrighty. Okay. Questions. Get some new music going. Let's do Ivan Dutch. Let's do Ivan Dutch. Cool though. Going to have a prominent figure in the area. Name TBG. And here's where our go. So let's find a picture. That will sort of accurately represent the area. So it's a very desert heavy area. Smaller place, probably a village of at least a few hundred. Let's see, port, a lot of desolate land around here, probably pretty jagged, rugged. I guess you could still be a bit lush with some of the water around here. So let's go to this module that we have, the Moulinet Forge. And I have a sort of Bing search add-on with a sort of API key that is tied to an account. So if I want to say fantasy desert village and hit enter, it'll take a minute, but it'll show you some stuff that is sort of just tied to the keywords, like a normal search function. So let's see if we can find something we like. This is nice. It's just a bit built into the rocks too much for my liking. I like this. I don't know if we'll use it, but I'll add it to the arsenal here. It's looking good. Okay. I like this sort of cable car technology or something. That's pretty cool. Very, yeah, steampunky, that's for sure. I do like this. I like these rock formations. Seems sort of otherworldly. This one's not bad. Just a little, yeah. Just doesn't fit. It's not terrible. This is cool. I like the sort of depth here. Yeah, credit to the artist. Yeah, I'll download this. You use it one day. This is cool. I like the rolling dunes in the background. A little bit of an inlet of water here, which is nice. Almost reminds me like like Byzantine almost. Yeah, let me use that. Only thing I wish you could do with that module is change the name before you download. So I'm going to go to my source files here. They save to the Moulinet folder, the assets library. Go to images. That was the Bing search from today. And yeah, I really like both of these. I might do two images here. So let's do that. We'll lock that in there. And we can resize. So now when a player sees this, this will pop up. They will have all have permissions to this, to these notes. Yeah, you can see here I've got my journal entries tabs, and if I go to like map lore, right, Cosguard, check the permissions. Everyone has the observer permission here. Okay. Let us see. All right. So I definitely want this here. And let's see, what do we know about Cosguard? Well, it is, I think, one of 3 of the more village-like settlements in the Shattered Lands, near the Canyon of Lost Echoes. And the only other sort of lore-based region here is Perch of the Phoenix. We might tackle that later. Okay, so I'm liking this, and then other image. Yeah, now this won't fit, so I'm going to change this one as well. All right. So let's add some text here. Let's start with a quote about Cosguard. So a lot about Omail in the region. We have Omail's feathers down here, a bunch of scattered little islands, very jagged coasts, almost just kind of like a bunch of archipelagos here. And then Omail's talent. So Omail was a sort of god in a very old pantheon, almost akin to like a phoenix, sort of tied to the idea of resurrection and rebirth, which under the current day pantheon would be Shamal, who actually one of my players has a character that follows Shamal. So let's say this quote here. And I'm not worried about who's going to say the quote or who would be attributed with it. Let's just sort of describe the area or kind of flavor it with some context of what this person would say. So let's say something like, through the granular expanse of shattered lands, Cosguard is one of the last, last stops before barren lands would take even the safest of travelers. And who would say that in the region? Well, we've got over here somebody who would probably travel to Cosguard. We've got Malashar, which is sort of like the big city in the region. And Malashar is ruled by 11 kings. Of those kings, we have Uniro the Jackal King, who is married to one of the other king's daughters, Shiala. Now let's say Shiala would do this. So let's say Shiala. These are all surnames or more title names. Let's be Shiala Uniro. Who would have said this? Let's get rid of that. Now, if we look at the formatting here, it's looking pretty good. I like making the quoted text a bit smaller. Okay. I might add a bit more flavor to that later. So let's do something fun here, shall we? Let's get this chat log open. We're going to see how many people live here. So let's say 5d100 plus a flat 250. So max of 750, low of about 255. Let's shoot for somewhere between 5 and 600. See where we land. That's perfect. 579. Okay. So, home to nearly 600 settlers of a, let's see here. One nomadic warrior tribe of mostly in this region. I kind of like the idea of having, this is a very rugged region, so I'm thinking of something like maybe Goliath or where are we feeling here? I like the idea of Goliath's being here, guys. Let me think. Let me. Let's see. Open up the racial features here. Let me see if I get some ideas. Tiefling wouldn't be bad. Mountain dwarfs in the scorched hills. Not too many mapped settlements over there. Maybe like desert thrycreen or something. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Hey, Matt. Good to see you here, man. Yeah, I DM a game for my very close friends and my girlfriend about once a week. Yeah, I've been DMing some sort of game, tabletop RPG wise, since probably. Oh god, I started playing in February of 2010, and I picked up the DM hat a few months after that, maybe May-ish of 2010. But that was I was a sophomore in high school. That was a very sort of amateur hour thing, and just sort of taking what little I knew and sort of just trying to put my own spin on it. And the games were not good. I would not fault any one of my old players to tell the truth and say that it was just bad. But it dipped my feet in the water and made me appreciate actually putting effort into it and all that. And it gives me a lot of joy. I love seeing what you can unlock with creation and sort of navigating your own mind. Good to see you here, Matt. Sorry I haven't got back to you. I haven't been in the best place, but I'm working on it, getting there, and I hope you're doing well. Glad you're here. If you have, I think I might have Kiefer modded, Matt, if you're still here, but if you can, whisper me his name or something when you get a chance. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. I remember we we all sort of made our channels in a similar time frame. I thought I had him modded, but okay. Yeah, I would say I would give you a prize for being the first chatter here, but you're already a mod, so your cup is full. Dragonborn would be cool here. I like Dragonborn. That'd be nice. Yeah, Goliath, Dragonborn. Whole thing about world building, it's tough to be the bad guy in the room when you're world building, but there are going to be subjugated races and stuff. And sometimes if you have a world that is this is a vast kingdom, of which even my players through the past 6 months or so have explored maybe like 5-10%. There are going to be races that are subjugated and sort of get pushed to not necessarily the outskirts of the world, but sometimes a more harder hitting, hot desert area. Could be, a lot of harmful wildlife. Flora and fauna are not kind here, hard to farm, limited water. So yeah, if you have a settlement in this area, would the more affluent sort of races be here? Maybe if something draws them here, but a lot of times these lands that get settled probably don't have a lot of fight from anyone who's been here before, not necessarily any rightful landowner, right? So If I have 5,000 acres of land and I can farm on 4,500 of it and make be profitable or something, and I have use for it, I'm not going to care about the 500 that doesn't do anything for me, right? So let's think of these hard areas like that, of those acres of land that you can't really do much with and probably won't have a lot of claim. Nobody will have a ton of claim to, or even want to spend resources trying to defend and maintain and stuff like that. So let's say once nomadic warrior tribe of mostly Goliath and a smattering of Dragonborn. This yeah, I would say this would be an oasis. They've got some water flow here. This desert oasis is now home to those who have settled. Adjective there. Those who have chosen to brave these wild lands. What I really want to do, it'll probably be, and then this will be how it's formatted in the end. What I really want to do, and it'll be a minute, but I would love to. God, I'd probably have to commission a bunch of stuff, but I would love to try and get some images kind of adjacent to this, but on like a more street level. Like, I want to see like these Goliaths and Dragonborn in the markets, right? I want to see like actual real world sort of context, sort of with this flavor, right? Think of this as the template, and then subsequent images that I would put in here on a more micro level is, more the context that I want to show. Okay, so what else can we do here? Canyon of Lost Echoes. I haven't exactly decided on what that would actually be yet. Alright, so we've got Malashar here. Very almost like desert steampunk city, of which is ruled by 11 kings. Let's see. This is actually all these kings. The names are a play on words of a book that I have read a while back. 12 Kings of, oh God, something I can't remember. I think it was. The book was published in like mid 2010s or something like that. It was a really good book. It had some decent world building and stuff, and I always like the idea of having like a many lord or many king settlement, like a large city with a lot of intrigue, and kind of at least having that sort of presence, especially in a more subjugated area of the world where people almost read the book by the cover, right? Where they're not sort of expecting anything but sand and death to come out of this region. So let's see. We've got sort of a king of kings. Sort of this asinine religion or worship in the city of this gargantuan beast, sort of that's tamed beneath the city center, which people worship and sort of just love and fear this creature that holds some mystery, let's say. Let's see. King of Thorns maintains relationship among local guilds. So just some more lore stuff that I'll get to. Chief Diplomat, the Wandering King. Yeah, that's a mysterious one. Sort of a Spy Master King, a Medium. It's cool. Can view outcomes in your future. Master of the Blade Matrons. Yes, I want to have the sort of all-female muscle presence in Malashar. Oh, Kiefer. Kiefer, good to see you here. Don't make me add the family-friendly tag, because I'll do it. And that means you won't be here. Let's see. Good to see you here, man. Okay. So the Blade Matrons. Sort of like a king, but focusing on extraction of information, i.e. Interrogation. King of Shadows, also known as the Gleam King or Dumani of Coin, controls the treasury. Yeah, let's play off that. So what would Cosguard have locally in the area that would cause Bashin, the King of Shadows, to either have some sort of influence here or travel or... probably not travel, but how does Cosguard pay its tithe to Malashar? Let me think. Okay. We'll keep that up over here. Switch that around. It's front and center. All right. Previous Once Wild Lands. Okay, so let's use what we have. Massive sand dunes. Press the edges. Kiefer, this is for 5th edition. This is a game I run for my girlfriend and my close friends once a week, usually on Foundry virtual tabletop. This is my VTT of choice. I don't think I'll end up streaming the game too much. We've already been playing for like 6-8 months or so. Yeah, I like doing this stuff, and I tend to put a decent amount of time into kind of world building, kind of not so much laying the tracks in front of the train, but just sort of piecing out the tracks as I go a bit further. Like even in this area, my players are nowhere near this area, but I want to get the map filled out. They're actually over here. I just got sort of this token here to represent sort of a travel token. I've got also sort of a ruler. See how far days of travel would be. 3 days here, another few days over here. Just kind of use some of that stuff. Yeah, nice. I don't have a ton of experience with Pathfinder. I played it not 2nd edition, but I played 1st edition Pathfinder with some buddies from high school back in probably back around the time I met you guys, actually. It was a Kingmaker game. I had only played in a couple sessions because I was sort of running my own game at the time, but I wanted to get a little bit of my sort of feet wet in the system to try it out. But yeah, good stuff. I'm glad you guys are getting into the hobby. It's I don't often meet people who don't come away learning something or kind of finding their voice in a way almost. I was probably not worth knowing in high school before I started playing tabletop games, just because I didn't really find my voice until I had to play other characters and put effort into it. So let's see, massive sand dunes, press the edges. Ooh. What if it was, yeah. Trying to think, what if this was once like a prison colony or something? That'd be cool. sort of like a lordship didn't want to invest in sort of feeding these prisoners and clothing them and providing what, you know, terrible shelter they did have, so they just sent him away. Um, you know, made him sail until he either died or found land far away that wasn't in their care. Yeah, let's say that. So massive sand dunes caress the edges of this once former. Actually, I might detail that somewhere else. I'll keep it in the back of my mind. Yeah, no, sky's the limit, man. Yeah, the only I think more than what stops people, it's not imagination. I think it's just experience, right? You know, until you know something is possible, right? And I think everyone has had that moment when they're a player in in like a tabletop game, whether it's virtual run or in person. I think everyone has a moment when they see a character or ask if their character can do something, and they're surprised when they get the answer like, yeah, of course you can. It just sort of pushes the boundaries even further. It's pretty cool. Former prison colony. Okay. All right. So let's say many years ago, a tired caravan of merchants stumbled across what they knew to be an oasis in the desert. Not visiting for a few years, the merchants were surprised to see that a burgeoning settlement had risen out of the once barren sands. That's cool. Prison colony, sort of. Yeah. Former prison colony. Guys worked together, got off the boat. How do we survive? Oh, good. There's a little inlet river here in what we thought was nothing but desert. Let's see. A lot of the construction in this sort of concept art. A lot of stone, some ceramic, stuff like that. So, fun fact, only about, I think, 10 or 20% of Earth's deserts are comprised of sand. A lot of it is shale, stone, rocks, stuff like that. I think it's only 10 or 20%. So there is going to be some stone in the region, a lot of sandstone-based stuff, probably. Yeah, some of the ceramic tile would probably come after a while. I see a little tiny little rug in this window down here. Textiles, wood. Yeah, I guess once you have. Okay, small patches of fertile land in there. Sands. The formation of Cosguard. We have been playing on Thursdays recently. I have one of my players is in school right now, so we'll try and be accommodating from session to session. But yeah, we were playing on Fridays for a bit. We play on Thursdays now. Usually later in the week or weekend. Yeah, right now Thursdays. I wouldn't mind streaming it. In fact, I've streamed not streamed, but I've recorded just audio in the past, so I could keep it locally on a hard drive, and that way when I'm making notes for the next session, or if I'm planning, or just in general, I go back and listen to the audio, and sort of just kind of take little notes of, hey, what did I miss here? If a player had a question about something, did I phrase an answer properly, or if I left out a bit of information that they would know as their character, I could always DM them or clarify next session. Um, yeah, it's not that I'm against streaming it. I would have to modify a lot of stuff. Um, i.e., is music not copyright? Not that I would be in. I mean, the copyright market for video game music is one thing, but if it's music from like independent creators, they probably don't have the resources in place to try and strike people and stuff like that. But I mean, you know it's not, it's ownership. But um even this map, this is not this is a map I had saved on a hard drive years ago, and I've tried to do a reverse image search on it and nothing comes up. There's no result. And I know that I downloaded this from, I think somebody posted on one of the map making subreddits, and I think the guy said something along the lines of like, hey, this is a map that I had or this is a map I had made at some point for a novel I'm writing. I wanted to visualize it. I thought, oh, that's cool. Not knowing anything about the novel or whatever that this guy was kind of going for, I just sort of liked that it was one big continent, and I had my sort of kind of mind going in loops about this, about a world I had in mind, and this sort of fits it right for what I was thinking. And I have tried to, like I said, reverse image search, and nothing would come up. But yeah, I had this map saved for probably a good 3-4 years. Yeah, I was just happy to be able to start doing something with it. And honestly, now that I started playing with VTT, I find it hard to want to go back in person. Like, there are a bunch of different modules and stuff that's cool. So, for example, stuff that I could not do in person that I can with a VTT. Say I have... let's just grab a character here. So, say I have a character here, right? Little battle going on. Get these guys into the initiative tracker, toggle their combat state, right? Just simple stuff like targeting who you want to target. Let's say they're attacking with a short sword. All the dice is rolled for you. This guy has the option to cast a shield spell as a reaction to sort of kind of up his armor class to, potentially not be hit. Or he's got a, fighting stance that might affect stuff. If you don't do something in time, right, damage calculates automatically, targets the armor class, stuff like that. Simple stuff that just sort of accelerates. I mean, you don't have to worry about any math. It's very forgiving for new players. Say that's my turn. Okay, this guy goes over here. Fine, all good, right? Right, next turn. Got a turn marker here, so you know who's who. Say, okay, same thing, target, but this guy is going to cast a spell, right? Say we're going to do Ray of Frost. Same thing, targets. There's animations that play through the use of modules, stuff like that. Even if the attack misses, so even as a player, you can sort of not feel bad about missing, right? Just, little stuff like that I think is cool. Yeah, it's, those things that are not found in a sort of in-person game, right? That unless you have an actual flat screen TV built into your game table or something, which can just be a hassle, especially if you don't have the space or anything like that. It's like the dream setup, but it's for now. As long as you have an internet connection and a computer, you can play, and that's all you need. It's very I can do a lot of things with this sort of I tell people a lot of time, especially newer DMs, you are the window into which your players see your world, right? But now, this actual screen, this tabletop, is the window that your players see the world through. Yeah, I mean, Matt, that's really all you need, though. I mean, as long as it gets the job done, none of this is all that flair, right? None of it is a substitute for for good role playing or good DMing, but it just adds to the experience. Um, yeah, I think that's what matters most. So let's see the formation of Cosguard. Let's see the year right now. I want to say is 1038. Do I have my calendar up? Let's forget which one it's under. There we go. Calendar. Year 1038. Okay. So let's say Cosguard's been around for about 200 years. So let's say the formation of Cosguard in the year 815. A little bit later. 885, about 70 years later. Brought life to this once hellish place. The influx of coin and trade turned mud huts into sandstone brick buildings. And natural spice trade found within the region flourished. Now many consider the Shattered Lands, that's what the region's called, to be a misnomer due to the, let's say, orange-yellow gradient that uses the eyes from one of any number of beautiful sunsets to the west. Okay. So that's what I'll do actually. So what I want to do is take one of those pictures we found, like this one, right? This is what it once sort of looked like, right? Very kind of ramshackle. Not a whole lot going on, not really a ton of presence of wealth. Yeah, and then have these sort of mountains in the background. That's pretty cool. And then sort of this is what it burgeons into, right? Think of this picture as, a guy is facing, west taking this. And then now sort of in the same place, this guy's facing east towards the big sand dune, stuff like that, towards the oasis. That's pretty cool. So that's enough that I'm just sort of happy and kind of getting it right there. Just a little bit of context. So that's good. And yeah, this one was just purely text for all the kings and their roles. So what I'll do is I'll make myself a note here. And I want to say add lore about how Boshin, the king of coin in Malashar, puts the knife on the tithe paid from Cosguard. Why does he have an interest in this place? Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Matt, I don't know if the Pathfinder game has any like character, or if the rather the tabletop that you're using has any built-in um, sort of character creation and stuff. But I would look for a plugin through your browser that maybe somebody has made. Hey, import your character here. Now, when you click, your ability check on the character, it outputs to your virtual tabletop. I know for D&D they have a few of those, which is pretty cool. So where it's not all stored on like a token, right? I can double click a token, see what they have in their inventory. All this is sort of equipped, right? All the features here. If you want to get details on your dark vision, right? You would just sort of hit it, and if your DM has a question about one of your abilities, you just sort of output it to chat. Yeah, I would look for something like that. Okay. Yeah, so I played on a game in Roll20 before I started DMing online, and it was pretty cool. So I just used a browser extension to a character creator sort of resource called D&D Beyond. And in D&D Beyond, you just sort of have your character sheets and any books that you might own, sort of stuff like that. And you just pop up your character sheet in a different tab or window, hit a button there to roll, and then it'll output the roll, use 3D dice or whatever, into the VTT that you're using. And then, it ties to your name, ties to your inventory, any items you have on your character sheet, you can sort of just hit the button, it'll apply in the tabletop and stuff like that. I don't know too much about how to get it started, unfortunately, because I didn't DM in there, but yeah, if Pathfinder and Paizo have a resource like that, that'd be pretty cool. Okay, do I just want to get a bunch of icons set? Probably not. I want to add more context to these places, because I already have, or I had a couple. Oh, yeah, like this one. Like I just have it as an image. Even this. Yeah, this is one where I actually had a tough time finding images for like a desert sort of obelisk. Perch of the Phoenix Forgotten Tower. All right. So I have a sort of system of a glade of druids, each of them sort of representing a season, right? And they sort of take turns kind of harnessing power and being stewards of this glade and sort of keeping any sort of weird stuff at bay. Yeah, see you, Matt. Take it easy. Yeah, send my best to Kiefer as well. So let's say one of these archdruids. Let's say like Veracitas, the archdruid of summer. Let's say he has a quote attributed to this area. As I stood upon the perch, I felt the winds die down and the power of the desert flow through me. in that moment, I felt not like a god, but like a king. And for once, that held more power. Like that. Druid of Summer. Archdruid of Summer. One of the keepers. Actually, I would call Steward. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So let's say a lot of this was natural, right? It won't be exactly like the photo. Mm. Okay. So yeah, let's say this picture isn't 100% accurate. Let's say like a good 80-90% of this tower, right, that you find. Actually, I think this is one of the observation towers in the Grand Canyon, it looks like. Let's say this perch of tower is, stone that's just sort of naturally formed and sort of looked over this large landscape, right? Has a high point and sort of looked out over this. So, what can we say about this? On this massive tower of stone found at the base of the scorched hills lies the most wondrous sight. Those who have made pilgrimage here to pay respects to a near forgotten god of rebirth. Yeah, I don't think I would even use Omail's name. Like, if I'm thinking of these map notes as, almost thinking of this map as like like an exhibit at a museum, and these are like the little plaques about these areas, right? So like in a futuristic world, when somebody is going through the remains of my long lost D&D game, they would have a virtual tabletop almost, that they could click these little icons, and let's say so much time has passed, right, that we wouldn't even use the name Omail, right? There had been so many gods of rebirth at that point, from Omail, Shamal, whoever comes after, to where this would just be almost just who cares, even though it's even like on the map, sort of screaming in your face, like, oh, we don't, like nowadays we don't even know anymore if Omail was named after this region, or if Omail was the Phoenix, right? Yeah, I don't think I would use the name here. Okay. Okay, those who have made pilgrimage here to pay respects to a near forgotten god of rebirth often tell tales about how they would get back to this place someday, not recalling the dangers that surround the area. The rumors that involve this place often talk of an inner peace found when in prayer. Let's see. Red gold valleys of stone and sand. Are but spots in a large, what would I call field of vision here? Like a frame, yeah. In a large frame of pure beauty. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Let's say on a clear day, okay, barely make out Gulf of Repentance to the northeast. Actually, this would be just base north because that would be the smallest distance. See flocks of seagulls. Yeah, let's go seagulls. Little rock presence there. What if we had these mountains are just screaming for a dragon. Yeah. I'm liking that. Let's see. So, in my big list of monster here, let's type dragon. Ooh, a brass dragon, a copper dragon, that'd be cool. I like that. I like that, something that would blend in with the landscape. Bronze. Let's see. Copper? Yeah, copper is chaotic. Ancient brass? That'd be cool. I'm thinking. Alright, something to keep in mind. So let's use that module again for our image search. I'll do the Bing search where we have the API key set up. And let's just search brass dragon. Well, little fan art. Yep. I wonder what would happen if we did dragon in desert. Yeah, see, that's where you get the real world stuff coming in. Yeah, bearded dragons, yep. Oh, that's cool. There's two-headed snake dragon. Even this sort of that has like the teeth on the tail going all the way up there. That's pretty cool. All the way up to the head. Horns. That's what I like to see. I like this. Yeah, let's get this downloaded. And what else? This is cool. God, this red. Oh man, I'm already getting ideas. It was like a carnival dragon. I love it. Yeah, let's get it. God, that's so cool. Well, yeah, this is what I like. Okay, 3 is probably more than enough. Here's another colorful guy. Demortum on DeviantArt. That's some good stuff. Yeah, I forgot it links to the domain that they get it from. That's cool. Okay. So we want this text, let's say after this photo, right? And we want the next image here. God, this like artist, I like this painting one. This one looking over the landscape, that is just cool. Let's see, I already have this sort of hyper-real Grand Canyon picture. Let's do this for now. A decent, oh yeah, that's what I like. That's cool. And I'll add some text down here. So again, just make myself a note on what I want down here. So let's detail dragon presence, and then I'm thinking brass, bronze, copper. I'm leaning brass, but or homebrew? Question mark. Okay, that's good stuff. Okay. I think I'm gonna just stop there for now. This is more just a test stream to get everything going, but yeah, this is fun. I like having the pressure of like the potential of somebody viewing you, sort of, you know, kicking your butt in gear. That's cool. All right. Let's see. Who is online right now in the D&D category? Let's give some love. Anybody else building some worlds? Oh, we got some. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Alrighty. Y'all, thank you for anyone who has been here. Thanks for coming out. And yeah, glad you're here. I'll be doing this again. Not sure when. Won't make any promises, but yeah, this was fun. Alrighty. Take it easy.